going.
Okay. How did Klein Forest prepare you for college/life?
Well, when I was here, I had to learn a lot about time management. I was doing a lot of different organizations, as well as doing my schoolwork and having outside sports as well, other than here. And basically responsibility. Once I went off to college, I was on my own. I went to a different state, and so I had to learn how to be responsible and take care of myself.
How has KF changed since you were here as a student?
There's a lot different buildings. When I left, the old house wasn't even built. It was almost built, but not finished. The whole Eagle Eye period is new, and there's something. And just the time, the passing period. We used to have 5 minutes for passing period instead of 6.
What were some of the organizations/clubs you participated in?
Did softball 4 years. I ran cross country. I was in orchestra, and I also ran track for 1 year and did National Honor Society.
Tell us about a teacher that made a difference in your life.
I got a couple, but Coach Stoll and Coach Wiley were mainly my coaches while I was here, and they helped me push to do the best that I could, whether that was academically or athletically, and that's kind of why I ended up doing collegiate rowing. And also Ms. Dozier helped me become a better writer and be a lot more creative. So.
What made you come back to Klein Forest?
KF is home to me. So, I mean, there's no other place like being at KF. And I just wanted to inspire other Eagles.
How did Klein Forest prepare you for college/life?
Well, as far as college, I mean, classes I took here, the teachers, they, then as now, upped the rigor in the courses, and I felt when I got to Lone Star and then later UT that I wasn't floundering. I knew my material, I knew the things that were expected of me, I knew how to study. The biggest thing is knowing how to study. And I do feel that I got that from my teachers, but also just as far as life, just knowing that there are things you're gonna need to do that you don't necessarily like to do, but you have to get them done anyway. Deadlines are a big deal that I'm trying to impress on my students that yes, you do have to do things by a certain point, and just those life skills that I feel that everybody should have, and I feel I got those from here.
How has KF changed since you were here as a student?
How has it changed? In a lot of ways it hasn't, but it just, because the student body, the type of students, same as when I was here. How has it? More like the people have changed, but I don't really feel that much else has changed. And for me, that's a good thing, because I mean, I came back. So there was something about this place that I liked.
Okay. What were some of the organizations/clubs you participated in?
Laundry list. Yearbook newspaper. I was with Miss Blackman all 4 years. And I still say Miss Blackman, even though we're co-workers now. Gay Straight Alliance, Japanese Culture Club, which I'm now the sponsor of. Principals Advisory Council, which I think I actually heard that they're trying to bring back the organizations all grouped together and having conversations with the administration. And I'm sure that National Honor Society, Ms. Dahl will kill me, National Honor Society. And I know I'm forgetting some more, but I tried to be as involved as I could be while I was here, because I like being here, and there were opportunities to do things. And otherwise, I just would have been sitting at home. So.
Tell us about a teacher that made a difference in your life.
It would have been Ms. Blackman. Like I said, was with her all 4 years. I feel just doing things like interviews of people for stories in the yearbook, stories in the newspaper, helped me learn how to talk to people. And obviously, something I liked about her, I liked about the course. Again, I was with her newspaper yearbook all 4 years. Miss Daw, World History. She was actually the reason I was able to travel for the first time. She nominated me for a program that took me to Washington, D.C. while I was a junior, when I had her as a sophomore. And that was my very first AP class, so my first time saying, oh, let me try something. And it was hard, and I still, even now as a teacher, I still think World History AP is probably the hardest social studies AP class, but she got us through. And teacher that's another teacher that two teachers, Miss Rothfeld and Mr. Williams. Ms. Rothfeld was my U.S. history teacher, my AP U.S. history teacher, and I think that a lot of my teaching style, at least my demeanor, the way I kind of relate to the kids, talk to the kids, I kind of got from her. And she was also my first boss. She hired me, so that was nice. And Mr. Williams, he was my economics teacher, not AP. Didn't think I was ready for AP economics, but in telling my teacher senior year, oh yeah, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a teacher, there's always congratulations or thanks or we need you. He was the first one to stop, pull me to the side and say why. The first one to give me a question and made me kind of defend my reasoning. Like, okay, I want to come back, I want to help, I feel like I can relate to the student body here since I was pretty recently a part of the student body here. And just kind of made me question whether this was something I wanted to do, and it was. No, we're not rambling.
What made you come back to Klein Forest?
Well, like I said, I had a great time here. I know you normally hear from people, my time in high school was great or it was terrible. Well, I'm one of the people that it was great. I made a lot of friends, of which I am still very close friends with. I had a good time. I feel like I learned something. I actually got something from coming to class every day, and just in addition to learning the material, the courses, it was also just learning how to, as I say, learning how to be a person, learning how to relate to different people and experience different things. And I feel like I got all that from here. It's like, oh, why not come back?
How did Klein Forest prepare you for college and life?
It really opened up my eyes to the diversity that we find here at Klein Forest, and it really prepared me to meet people from all walks of life.
How has Klein Forest changed since you were here as a student?
I think that it's changed for the better. It's become the school that everybody had like a negative idea about, but the way that our community and our students are becoming one, it's really making it a positive impact.
What were some organizations and clubs that you participated in?
For the most part, I did cross country, soccer, track. I was in art, National Honor Society, and I think that was about it.
Tell us about a teacher that made an impact in your life.
It's hard to pick just one, but I would definitely say my English 3 teacher, Miss Trashaset, Mr. Gleisner, Miss Rothfeld, Coach Sands. And what they all had in common is that they took the time to build a relationship with me outside of the academics.
What made you come back to Klein Forest?
The reason I came back to Klein Forest was to show the students that people who look like us and people who come from this zip code can go to college, can become a successful person, and can build a career.
How did Klein Forest prepare you for college and life?
Klein Forest offered a lot of dual classes when I was in school. They also offered after school help for us, and they also offered different classes and opportunities while we were actually in class. So the teachers let us know about college and prepped us and all that good stuff.
How has Klein Forest changed since you were here as a student?
It kind of hasn't, honestly. The cosmetology room looks the exact same from when I graduated. Everything's in the same spot. Colors of the walls are the same. The only difference I would say would be the inside, like the commons area. They definitely improved it and added a bigger cafeteria for all the kids so far that I've seen. I kind of stay in my own box.
What are some organizations or clubs that you participated in?
I was in volleyball my freshman to junior year, but I ended up wanting to do cosmetology, so I came in and did cosmetology my 11th and 12th grade year, and then I graduated and started working in the field.
Tell us about a teacher that made a difference in your life.
I would have to say the teacher that made a difference in my life was Patty Kravitz, which was the old cosmetology teacher that was here. She definitely pushed me. She always helped me. She definitely made a big impact on my life.
What made you come back to Klein Forest?
I came back to Klein Forest because an opening position came up, and I had actually went to school, got my instructor's license about a year before the position opened. And when I had came back to see Miss Kravitz, because I always came back to see Miss Kravitz to let her know everything that was going on, she let me know that she was actually thinking about retiring, and she wanted to know, since I had my instructor's license, if I would like to take the position. And I told her, of course, this is where I came from, this is where I graduated from, I'll do it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So when I was in Klein Forest, I took a lot of dual credit classes, and Miss McSharon, she worked here when I was in Klein Forest too, and she helped me and really pushed me to make sure that I was with supportive teachers who helped me to kind of prepare me for the way of college.
How has Klein Forest changed since you were here as a student?
So I don't think it's really changed a lot. Like, the staff has changed, but the culture has stayed the same for sure. When I was in high school, the students here were really supportive with one another. I'm actually still friends with a lot of people that I went to high school with, and I still see that every day in the classroom with the students in the hallways and everywhere.
What were some organizations and clubs that you participated in?
I was in student council, I was a stand leader, and I was also in child guidance.
Tell us about a teacher that made a difference in your life.
The child guidance teacher at the time was Miss Dorsey, and she opened that program and she taught here for over 30 years, and she was incredible. She really pushed us to have high expectations for ourselves and in her classroom, and it's something I strive to do now in my classroom.
What made you come back to Klein Forest?
A lot of the culture and just making sure that, or just, I guess, feeling like it's my home. Like, I feel loved here.
How did Klein Forest prepare you for college and life?
I was really proud to go to Klein Forest. Klein Forest is really diverse, and so when I went to college, I went to U of H, which is, just like Houston, it is just a microcosm of, the world and what you can come into contact with, and so the types of people and the different activities and just things you can be involved in were great at Klein Forest. So that was.
How has Klein Forest changed since you were here as a student?
Klein Forest really always celebrated our diversity, and that was really neat. And so there was a lot of spirit in that, which was kind of different than I felt like some of the other Klein schools. And I think after I left, there was kind of a period where Klein Forest forgot about that, and there was a rough time. And so when I first got back to Klein Forest, I was kind of disappointed to see how we kind of lost that. But in recent years, I'm really seeing that come back. And so I'm so excited that Klein Forest has embraced that, and we're special, and we're embracing that again.
What were some organizations and clubs you participated in?
I was in the band all 4 years, and then that took up the majority of my time. I did French club with Miss Karen Watson. She was my teacher. and I love working with her. I think I was in Eagles That Care, which was more or less kind of what Interact is, but it wasn't quite Interact.
Tell us about a teacher that made a difference in your life.
Oh gosh, I had some awesome teachers at Klein Forest, but you know, the two people that come to mind are Miss Lynn Dozier, who now works with the district and helping us out. But she scared me so much the first day I came to her class, and I went home and I cried and I tried to get out of it. And my counselor and my mom said no, and it was really just the best learning experience for not just writing, but just passion and interacting. And that was a great class.
What made you come back to Klein Forest?
I think it was always really my dream to come back to Klein Forest. I knew I wanted to teach high school. I knew I wanted to be in a school where I felt like I could make a difference. I knew I wanted to be in a school that still made me feel like it was part of a community. And so all those things together made me love coming back here.
I would say that Klein Forest prepared me for college because I received a very rigorous education here. It was very challenging. My teachers pushed me to better myself, and I think that all together helped me as I moved on into college and into life.
How has Klein Forest changed since you were here as a student?
Well, first of all, it's definitely totally different as far as demographics, totally different makeup, and the size of the school definitely, because it wasn't as large when I went to school here.
What were some organizations or clubs that you participated in?
I was on varsity basketball 10th through 12th year, 10th through 12th grade school year, and also I was on the Good Sportsmanship League organization, and I was on Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Tell us about a teacher that made a difference in your life.
I would say Miss Smith, because Miss Smith was my Algebra 2 teacher, and of course I love math, that's what I teach. But she was just awesome in that she was fun, she loved her students, she pushed us to be our best, and she actually ended up hiring me here at Klein Forest as a teacher.
What made you come back to Klein Forest?
I would say the sense of community. It was home to me, so it was basically I wanted to return home, and I wanted to give back where things had been poured into me. So.
How did Klein Forest prepare you for college and life?
My gosh, where do I even begin? As a 1993 graduate from Klein Forest High School, I had the opportunity to be part of organizations that really shaped my life and prepared me for my career. I believe the relationships that I built with my teachers and then friends that I still keep up with today really had a huge impact on me as a student, but also as an adult in my adult world that I live in.
How has Klein Forest changed since you were here as a student?
Well, because I graduated a minute ago, I think that the obvious are the people come and go, teachers come and go, students come and go, but really what has remained the same is the heart of the campus and what we represent as fellow Eagles.
What were some organizations and clubs that you were in?
I was a Gold Duster. I was on drill team whenever I was here, and just being a part of a group. And, that's not to say that it was always easy. It was hard work. It was a lot of dedication. But just knowing that I had that camaraderie amongst my peers and we were all working towards a common goal was really exciting for me, and I wouldn't have traded that experience for anything.
Tell us about a teacher that has made a difference in your life.
A teacher that's made a difference in my life. I would say that here at Klein Forest, a couple of teachers that made a huge difference in my life. One was my biology teacher, Mr. Jack Mardell. He was hugely sarcastic with us, but he always made sure that we knew he cared about us. He built relationships with us. He was always available with a high five, a joke, or
you know, just a way to go waiting for us. And he is someone that I will never forget as one of my best teachers.
What made you come back to Klein Forest?
Oh my goodness, the community. The fact that I love this school so much, and the kids are absolutely amazing. And because I gained so much from being a high school student here at Klein Forest, I wanted to make sure that I was able to give back to our students, give back to our community, and give the same opportunities that I had.
The big part of Klein Forest change was the diversity. Diversity has changed in a big way, which is good. It's grown, the community around us has grown, so the school has changed in just the ethnicity and different races and different cultures here, which is neat to see how, as an employee now, you get to see the different diversities than when I went to school. It was just basically two.
What were some organizations and clubs that you participated in?
I was in band, cosmetology, of course, choir. I took a little theater. We also organized a club called ETC. It was called Eagles That Care. It was kind of a way to promote drug-free awareness around the school. So we would do various events. We were able to go to Baylor to a big convention and express our ideas, bring them back to the school, and do Red Ribbon Week, and just really let people know the awareness that it is important.
Tell us about a teacher that made a difference in your life.
That would be Mr. Warcello, the band. The band was a big part of my life. We were there 24/7. So Mr. Warcello and Mr. McDaniel. Mr. McDaniel was our drumline teacher, very talented person. Mr. McDaniel taught us that music was more than just playing an instrument. You can use it in everyday life.
What made you come back to Klein Forest?
I always make a joke about it when people ask me where I work. I said I loved high school so much that I went back to high school. Why not get paid for it, right? So it's a way to inspire students, to let them know that when you leave Klein Forest, you'll be able to survive in this big world, and to know that we were all students at one time, and for them to see like, oh hey, you were a graduate too, and now look at you, you're working in the workforce, or you know, you play an instrument, and now you can take that out in the real world. So I also sing in the choir at church, so I can use that. It's just a neat opportunity to let students know that when they come back, that they have a place that they can go.
How did Klein Forest prepare you for college and life?
Well, I attended Stephen F. Austin State University, and then I went to Prairie View A&M. And I think the teachers here at KF were very strong. They helped us out. We could go to tutoring if we needed to. I opened the school in 1979, so we really didn't have dual credit and all those types of classes, but we did have really strong teachers.
How has KF changed since you've been here?
Oh my goodness. KF has changed a whole lot. We didn't have a new dining hall. We didn't have where the GERC is. It used to be the senior eating area. We didn't have the new wing, because you got to remember, I came in 1979.
Okay, what are some organizations that you participated in?
I played volleyball here 4 years. I played for Peggy Exter. She was Peggy Boswell. And then I ran track 2 years.
Tell us about a teacher that has made an impact in your life.
It would be my high school volleyball coach. She was very strong. She's very supportive. We spent a lot of time with her. We really enjoyed her. And she made us work hard as volleyball players, but she always had our back in everything that we did.
What made you come back to Klein Forest?
I wanted to give back to the school from where I started. So I wanted to come back and make a difference at KF.
Amazing. Now show us that awesome brick of yours.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Good morning, Eagles. Happy Monday. I hope you guys are enjoying this lesson. And as you know, today's lesson is about being the legacy. And that's one of our core values, guys. So it's like, how do you want to be remembered here at Klein Forest? And what impact do you want to make? What can you do today that will impact others tomorrow and in the future possibly? So take a moment to reflect on that. Now, today's activity, you're going to get out a sheet of paper, any random sheet of paper, and you're going to write a letter to an underclassman, giving them some advice like, hey, actually do your work because you need to get it done to graduate. Stuff like that. Seniors, you'll write to juniors, juniors to sophomores, sophomores to freshmen, and freshmen, you'll get to write it to upcoming freshmen. So give some advice that you think they'll need. When you're done, just write the classification, like to dear juniors or to dear freshmen, and right on the outside, nice and clear so they know who it's to. You don't have to put your name if you don't want to, but you can if you want to. And then if you need more time to write this letter, you can turn it in tomorrow, but make sure it's to your Eagle Eye teachers so they can turn it into the correct locations. And teachers, when you're done, please turn it in to the front office. There'll be a basket or a box. You'll see it. You won't miss it. All right, guys, let's be the legacy at Klein Forest. Have a good day.